Hello and welcome to Juice with Justin. Want to increase your bounce? Ankle stiffness is the key. I first got introduced to this topic of ankle stiffness years and years ago through my mentors at P3. They included this type of training and it was a staple of their programming, and it's been a staple of ours here at PPC ever since. So what is ankle stiffness? Here's an analogy. Imagine you have a lacrosse ball and a hacky sack, and you drop both at the same time. What's gonna come back higher? The lacrosse ball or something less dense like that hacky sack? For sure, the lacrosse ball. That is ankle stiffness. That quality, being able to redistribute force off the ground for the structure, for the ball not to change shape, that's ankle stiffness, that's bounciness, that's elasticity. Ankle stiffness occurs through the lower leg complex. That's a term we use frequently here at PPC. The lower leg complex involves anything from the knee down. So we're talking about muscles in the calf, the shin, the foot, and the ankle. Good ankle stiffness is being able to transmit force and redirect force through the ground, through the LLC, efficiently and effectively. Usually these quick sort of reactions happen very fast, less than 0.3 seconds of ground contact time. That's where the foot is on the ground for less than 0.3 seconds. The more you can increase this quality of ankle stiffness, the more you'll be like the lacrosse ball and less like the hacky sack. So why is this important to an athlete, to someone like you? If you can increase ankle stiffness, you'll be a better athlete. It will increase performance. For example, let's use basketball. You have a lot of high flyers, a lot of people that can jump high off the ground, big vertical jumps. But basketball is a game of advantages. It happens in those quick reactions. So it doesn't matter if you can jump 48 inches and you can get your head at the rim. If it takes you a second and a half to get there, you're not going to be as valuable on the court as the person that can get to that same height, but quicker. Increasing your ankle stiffness is going to make you a quicker jumper, like when you're battling for rebounds and that second jump. Zion Williamson's a great example of someone that has a great second jump and has good bounce and has good ankle stiffness. If you're not a basketball player, it still helps you because you're training the quality, the coordination, the ability to react quickly off the ground. That's going to benefit the athletic system as a whole. Another big reason why this will benefit you, it reduces ankle injuries. Usually ankle injuries happen when you hit the ground really fast. If we can increase the strength, the coordination, the ability to be elastic, the ability to be stiff, you're going to reduce the likelihood that you get ankle injuries. And worst case scenario, that injury happens, you're going to be in a better place coming back. You're likely going to reduce your injury time if an ankle injury occurs. So I've talked about ankle stiffness, this great quality that we want to have as an athlete. How do we quantify it? If we can't figure out how to measure it, how do we know if we're in a good starting spot, and how do we know if we're getting better? You can measure ankle stiffness, you can measure bounce through something called RSI, Relative Strength Index. In order to get RSI, you should divide jump height by ground contact time. That will give you a number, anywhere from 1.0 plus. As a measure of reference, and from my experience with well-rounded athletes, getting an RSI score of 2.5 and above puts you in a pretty good place. To measure RSI, you're going to either need a jump mat, something like an IMU, a device that you put like an insole in your shoe. I've got access to some great technology called Plantiga. You can also use a push band, and I'm pretty sure the MyJump app is a way that you could measure RSI if you didn't have access to these more advanced measuring tools. Check that out. I'll provide links to all this tech and stuff that you can use to measure RSI. So where are we at here? We understand what ankle stiffness is. We know why it's beneficial. We know how to measure it. So lastly, how do you get a better bounce? How can you increase your RSI, Relative Strength Index score? We do this twofold. First, strengthen the musculature, increase strength, the body's ability to produce and handle forces. We increase strength of the lower leg complex, the muscles in the calf, in the shin, in the foot. We're going to do this through calf raises, tibia raises, or like forefoot raises, different types of balance exercises, isometrics, exercises that strengthen the foot. So that's going to hit the lower leg complex on the strength side. Next thing we got to do is hit it on the velocity side, the more athletic part of things when we're moving faster, the coordination. And on this side of things, on the athletic velocity side, we'll probably want to hit this two ways. Variations of pogos. Pogos and their variations are a great way to work on this athletic quality of ankle stiffness. One way we might tackle this is do pogos for height, so we're going to get max intent. The other way we can do this is to go like skipping, which is essentially like a little lower intensive pogo for endurance. Those are just a couple ways that we can hit the athletic side of ankle stiffness. If you would like more depth on what to do, check out an article that I co-authored with Nick Tomanello a few years back. It's on T Nation, and it's going to give you a bunch of ideas of how to work on ankle stiffness. Thank you everyone that's got to this point and has watched this far. I appreciate those of you who are interested in the things that I'm interested in. If you've got any questions, shoot me a DM, leave me a comment, and I'll try my best to answer all your questions. Thank you for joining this episode of Juice with Justin.